conversion and modest reactor condition, they propose to use carbohydrates as a high energy density hydrogen carrier with a density of 14.8 weight percentage. Next, let's talk about the synthesized hydrocarbons. An alternative to hydrides is to use regular hydrocarbon fuels as the hydrogen carriers. Then a small hydrogen reformer would extract the hydrogen as needed by fuel cell. However, these reformers are slow to react to changes in demand and add a large incremental cost to vehicle powertrain. Direct methanol fuel cell does not require reformer but provides a low energy density compared to conventional fuel cells. Although this could be counterbalanced with much better energy densities of ethanol and methanol over hydrogen, alcohol fuel is a renewable resource. Solid oxide fuel cells can operate on light hydrocarbons such as propane and methane without a reformer, or can run on higher hydrocarbons with only partial reforming. But the higher temperature and slow startup time of these fuel cells are problematic for automotive applications. Next is liquid organic hydrogen carriers, LOHC. Unsaturated organic compounds can store huge amounts of hydrocarbon. These liquid oxide hydrogen carriers are hydrogenated for storage and dehydrogenated again when hydrogen is needed. Heterocyclic aromatic compounds are most appropriate for this task. A compound that stands focus is N-ethyl carbazole, but many others do exist, like dibenzyl toluene, which is already industrially used as heat transfer fluid. Using LOHCs, relatively high gravimetric storage densities can be reached, and the overall efficiency is higher than other chemical storage options, such as producing methane from hydrogen. So this is the liquid hydrogen carrier. What happens is we can add 6 hydrogens to this liquid hydrogen organic carrier, which can be the dimethylbenzole or ethyl carbazole, and we can remove it whenever it's needed. Next method is storing hydrogen in ammonia. Ammonia releases H2 in an appropriate catalytic reformer. So ammonia provides hydrogen with a high storage density as a liquid with mild pressurization and cryogenic constraint. It can also be stored as liquid at room temperature and pressure when mixed with water. Ammonia is the second most commonly produced chemical in the world, and a large infrastructure for making, transport and distributing ammonia exists. Ammonia can be reformed to produce hydrogen with no harmful waste, or can mix with existing fuels and under right conditions burn efficiently. Pure ammonia burns poorly at atmospheric pressures found in natural gas fired water heaters and stoves. Under compression in an automobile engine, it is suitable fuel for slightly modified gasoline engines. So ammonia is a toxic gas at normal temperature and pressure. Let's go to amine borane complexes. There have been several compounds investigated for hydrogen storage, which are borohydrates and aluminohydrates and ammonium salts. These hydrates have upper theoretical hydrogen yield to 8.5% by weight. Among these components, boron, nitrogen, and hydrogen representatives examples include amine boranes. Of these amine boranes, especially ammonia borane, have been extensively investigated as hydrogen carriers. So ignition of ammonium borane forms boron nitride and hydrogen. In addition to ammonium borane, other gas generators include diborane, diammoniate. Next, formic acid. Carbon monoxide free hydrogen has been generated in a very wide pressure range. So a homogeneous catalytic system based on water soluble ruthenium catalyst selectively decomposes HCOOH into, that is formic acid, into hydrogen and CO2 in aqueous solution. So what can we see is it stores 4.3 weight percentage hydrogen. Pure formic acid is a liquid with a flash point of 69 degrees C. 85% of formic acid is not flammable. Imidazolium ionic liquid. So this imidazolium ionic liquid in 2007, Dunport and other reported hydrogen storage materials based on imidazolium ionic liquid. Simple alkaline aryl 3 methyl imidazoline N bis, which is fluoromethane, sulfonyl, immediate salts that possess very low vapor pressure, high density and thermal stability and are not flammable, can add reversibly 6 to 12 hydrogen atoms in the presence of classical PDC or IRO nanoparticles catalyst, and can be used as alternative materials for on-board hydrogen storage. These salts can hold up to 30 grams per liquid of hydrogen at atmospheric pressure. Next, seeing phosphonium borate. So this is what happens with phosphonium borate. We can add hydrogen at 25 degrees C and form add hydrogen to the left and right, which can be seen as H, and we can remove it at 100 degrees C using a catalyst of CH3, C6 and H5. Next, carbonate substances. So research has proven that graphene can store hydrogen efficiently. After taking up a hydrogen, the substance becomes graphene. A test conducted by Dr. Andre Glenn at university shows that not only graphene stores energy, but it can also release hydrogen again, heating at 450 degrees C. So this graphene can be seen as a very good hydrogen storage material. Next, let's go to metal organic framework. This metal organic framework represents another class of synthetic porous material that stores hydrogen energy at molecular level. When guest modules as solvents are removed during solvent exchange and heating under vacuum, porous structures of MOF can be achieved without destabilizing the frame, and hydrogen molecule will be absorbed onto the surface of the pores by physioction. Compared to traditional zeolites and porous carbonates, MOFs have very high number of pores and surface area, which allows higher hydrogen uptake in a given volume. Let's go to encapsulation. Cella Energy Technology is based around the encapsulation and reduction of chemical hydrogens in plastic. So they use the encapsulation of chemical hydrides in plastics for storing hydrogen. The study is still in the research state. Now let's go to the physical storages. First is the cryocompressed. Cryocompressed storage of hydrogen is not technology that is the only technology that meets 2015 DOE targets for volumetric and gravimetric efficiency. Cryocompressed is nothing but hydrogen is stored in a liquid state by using very cold temperature. That is what is called cryogenic compression. And with the pressure difference, hydrogen will warm up and transfer, and tank is allowed to go to high pressure at much higher. So it takes more times hydrogen to vent, and most enough hydrogen is used by car and keep the pressure well below the venting limit. Research is still on the way to study and demonstrate the full potential of this technology. Next is carbon nanotubes. So here you can see the diagram of carbon nanotubes. Hydrogen carriers such as carbon buckyballs and nanotubes have been proposed for hydrogen storage, but these are considered as poor materials. Calthrate hydrates. Hydrogen cage in the calthrate hydrate was first reported in 2002, but requires very high pressure to be stable. Next is gas capillary arrays. Gas capillary arrays for safe infusion and storage controlled release of hydrogen mobile application has been developed by a team of Russian, Israel and German scientists. So these targets can be used for flexible glass capillaries and compressed methods of hydrogen storage. Next is glass microspheres. Here you can see the glass microsphere storage of hydrogen at different temperature at with the same atmospheric pressure. So it can be stored. It can be used for controlled store and release of hydrogen at high temperature. This HGM shows increased hydrogen absorption. So this is the apparatus which is used for glass microspheres, which is called a Sieverts type apparatus. Next, let's go to the stationary storage methods. In stationary storage, we have underground hydrogen storage and the power to gas. So let's see what is underground hydrogen storage. It's very simple. Underground hydrogen storage is nothing but, in practice, we store it in caravans, salt domes, and depleted oil and gas fields. So large quantities of gaseous hydrogen have been already stored in underground caverns by Imperial Chemical Industries for many years without any difficulties. So this efficiency of underground hydrogen storage today is as low as 30 to 40%, but can be increased to 50%. Next thing, the power to gas. Power to gas is technology which converts electrical power to gas fuel. There are two methods. First it is used to use the electricity of water splitting and injecting the resulting hydrogen into natural gas grid. The second less efficient method is to convert carbon dioxide and water to methane using electrolysis and Sabatier reaction. The excess power or off-peak power generated by wind generators or solar is used for load balancing in the energy grid. Using existing natural gas system for hydrogen fuel cell makers, Hydrogenics and National Gas Distributor Enbridge have teamed up to develop such a power to gas system in Canada. Pipeline storage of hydrogen, where a natural gas network is used for the storage of hydrogen. Before switching to natural gas, the German gas networks were operated using town gas, which for most part consisted of hydrogen. The storage capacity of German natural gas network is more than 20,000 gigawatt per hour, which is enough for several months of energy requirement. By comparison, the capacity of all German pump storage power plants amounts only to 40 gigawatt hour. The transport of energy through a gas network is done with much less loss than a power network. The use of existing natural gas pipeline for hydrogen was studied by Natural H5. Conversion efficiency will exceed over 60%. So these are my reference to you all. Thank you.